Hi, I'm Mr. Sampica. I'm the Plant Services Manager for Bishop McGuinness High School, and this will be going on my 10th year here at the school.
Has COVID-19 affected your job around the school, and in what ways?
Well, there's more detail that has to be concerned with. We had to hire a different company, and we have a day porter here, so I'm always in constant communication with her via radio.
Has the virus decreased or increased your work here at Bishop?
It has increased. As you well know, that it's Mr. Berry and myself that have done the normal maintenance around the school, and with addition to different things that need to be looked at, it's increased it probably at least twofold.
With that being said, what has been your most favorable project during COVID that you worked on?
Most favorable project? That is a good question. I think I can't choose one because a favorable project is, my biggest concern is keeping the safety of the students. So every one of those projects were favorable because it's going to help, increase the health and welfare of not just the students but the whole school body.
So, who has to come up with all of these decisions on obviously if something breaks, fix it, but when it comes to the COVID protocols, does Novant help y'all decide what's safe around the school or?
Well, what we had to do is, what we had to do is we had to look at the CDC guidelines and then to adapt to those guidelines based upon what their research was. So it was along with the diocese, we met a meeting, I'm trying to think what month it was. It was probably just about 2 months before the school opened. We all met on a virtual meeting and we discussed things, how we're going to address these COVID issues. And so then we went out and started buying the right kind of supplies. So there was a lot of time spent in regards to that researching because there was a lot of different variables in regards to the type of chemicals that we would use. But we wanted to find something that was safe for the students. There was things out there that could, kill the virus, but it wasn't healthy for to be around.
Right.
So basically we had to go look, and I worked with our vendors that we normally buy supplies with, and talked to them about it. We came up with some great solutions and things that are safe. Right now we're using the Facility Plus. That's the cleaner that's used in the classrooms and in everywhere, for tables in the cafeteria, such like, and it has a 1-minute kill time. That's a lot faster than some of these other disinfectants that are out there. Some of them take 10 minutes. So we had to sort of narrow that down because of changes in classes. Teachers couldn't wait 10 minutes, and then wait down a desk. So we found the product very inexpensive. We're looking at probably a gallon probably is only about 78 cents a gallon once you dispense it into a spray bottle. So we were trying to be as cost effective as we can. We wanted to make sure we attacked it as thorough as we can. So there's a lot of things that took place.
Would you find all this to be more expensive compared to a normal?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it increased our cost. The biggest increase in cost is having the extra labor in here. When we had a custodial company in here as a normal year, they only had 5 employees. Now we're up to somewhere between 8 and 9, depending on it. So it increased my budget at least 60% more just to have that extra. But it, again, assures the safety of the building and makes sure everybody's healthy.
You had mentioned changing the bathrooms earlier. In what ways did you guys kind of change or rearrange the bathrooms or do any of that?
Okay, what we did in the bathrooms is because the hand washing procedure was supposed to be 20 seconds. What we had to do during the summer, before when we started hearing all this coming through here, is my summer help and I, we went and We went through all our faucets systems and tested those to make sure they're at least 20 seconds long. Because we found some of those are already malfunctioning and we couldn't adjust those, we reached out to our company Delta, and we worked out a deal with them to buy new parts to put them in these faucets so they run longer, even though the expense of water is increased, because of that. You can't cut that with the health of the student, make sure the hands wash. And then we put up the signs throughout the school in the restrooms too.
So do you feel as if the Bishop community with the faculty and staff have become closer during the virus?
We sort of get in our zone, have our blinders on, and I'm guilty of that too. I'm zoned in everything and not spending, I guess, time enough, but it's sort of brought us because the communication's closer, conversations about things, awareness of things. And with having different staff meetings, I'm asked to come in and talk about if there's any changes or anything that we need to be addressed with that, and sort of keeping everybody's nerves calm because there's so much information out there now that you have to be careful of and read through it and study through it. So I spend a lot of time researching that and listening to the right kind of information. So.
On the team's not necessarily being staff, does you prepare for what kind of different
That's a good question. Had I had more time to prepare, it'd have been great. But based upon all the unknowns that were coming through, we didn't know when the school was going to open. We weren't quite sure how many students were going to come in, all that kind of information. So I had to learn to be fluid in regards to not really becoming so assertive, ordering certain things. It's a way to make sure this is happening. In fact, extensions that we use for guidance for the temperature checks, those kind of things, they came in like a week before school was supposed to start. We just had to order those that quickly because we had to have some kind of configuration. In fact, we had Forsyth County Schools came over here with a team, and they were so impressed of how we do our check-in system. And that's thanks not just to me, but to Miss Williams. She was able to get contact with a company that offered that thermal imaging reading for your temperatures. That helped out, and Mr. Teray and I, we worked together closely on that. So.
If you had the option to change one thing about your job during COVID, what would it be?
That is really a question. I just wish I would have known more about COVID. Just hearing tidbits of information would have helped me to be prepared. And changing anything, I don't think I would have changed anything with it. I think I really, when I have a particular issue or something that I'm dealing with, I overextend myself in research. Like I said, I wish I had more time during the day, so to speak. With all the other responsibilities I had to be concerned about, opening the school, making sure classrooms were prepared, for a normal year. On top of that came, hand dispensers, soap, make sure we had the right kind of soap in here, paper towels, those kind of things. So, I don't think I would have changed anything.
And does the mask, like, you do, a lot of maintenance work for a bishop and you're constantly on the move, do you find it to be like a hassle sometimes, or are you just like used to it now?
I don't think anybody gets used to it. In some cases, it's helped me. In one sense, if I have to get up at the ceiling and there's the insulation and dust, well, I've already got a mask on anyhow, so it helps out. I don't see it as impeding my type of work that I'm doing. I think it's been helpful. It is in communication. It's part of it. So. The COVID thing that we've done at the school is we have actually disconnected this bubbler or spout here. So if you push on it, it won't work. The only thing will work is your bottle fill station.
While working with Mr. Sampica on this project and talking to him, we all realize what a large impact he makes on the Bishop community. It's not always what we see every day in school, it's the ins and outs that make everything possible for us. So we would like to thank Mr. Sampica because he really opened our eyes to how this virus has affected him and the school, and how grateful we are that he helps our school continue to run smoothly.